What's the crack, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Kazzy, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 books that I read in July. My average for most of this year has been 6 books. In July I kind of hit a bit of a speed bump with the reading because I only read 3 and one was a reread, so yeah. July was quite an off month for me. It started off well, then I decided to get back into art and I wanted to draw more and I wanted to teach myself more and just get back into the swing of that. And then I just had the energy of a teaspoon. Just like Ron Weasley's emotional range, I had all the energy of a teaspoon, which meant that I only read 3 books, and the laughable thing was I only kind of physically read 1. But that just means that this one's going to be shorter and sweeter than usual. Here's hoping, because, you know, I'm Irish, we like to talk. Why use one word where 7 will do? Let's just get into the books. So the first book that I read in July was The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. I actually own that book. Hang on. I made the thumbnail look shitter than it should have been because I actually have that book. So, Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is heavily and highly recommended by Murphy Napier over on her channel. This is one of her favourite books of all time. It's one of her favourite series, the Genital Bastard series. She loves it, and so I was like, right, I'll buy the book. I bought the book like in February, March time, but just didn't get around to reading it. I was going to start it around June time, but it sounded so much like a book that I was reading at the time, so I was like, right, hang on, I'll pause it and then read it. So I went down the audiobook route for this, and the audiobook is good. I found myself laughing quite a lot in it. The characters are very witty, very intelligent. But the thing with the writing style was, and with the way the narrator did, there are 2 characters called Carlo and Guldo. They are twins. So he would say something and then the narrator would go, said Carlo. They need a said Guldo. Da-da-da. Said Carlo. Da-da-da. Said Guldo. That amused me to no end. Little amuses the innocent, let me tell you. But I loved the characters in this. Some of the characters I got quite attached to. Scott Lynch is quite the George R.R. Martin, because then you get attached to them and then they're dead. Slight spoiler warning there for you. Just don't get attached to any of the characters. I gave this book 4 stars. I didn't give it the full 5 because there were just times in this book I was like, what is the plot? What is the ultimate plot of this book? And I just didn't quite get it. But nevertheless, I loved the storyline once it got going. I was really living for all of the twists and turns. It was like, oh, I think I know what's going to happen. Nope, you don't. It did not go any way that I thought it would. I love the way that was heavily influenced by medieval Italy. I could just see this happening, you know, where the Borgias and the Malucci family. I could definitely see this happening around that era. I think it's very heavily influenced by Venice. I loved that aspect of it. It is just very, very engrossing. As George R. R. Martin says in the blurb in the front, a fresh, original, engrossing tale by a bright new voice. It is definitely that. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens in the next books. And there's a 4th book, so it's actually like a quadrilogy or saga or something. So I'm interested to see what happens next, considering, you know, my favorites are like dead. Definitely worth picking up. If you love 6 of Crows, you will love this. Because it's like the adult version of 6 of Crows. 6 of Crows is YA. If you wanted more from 6 of Crows, then this is your book. After that, I read Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro and Cornelia Funke. That's a tongue twister. This is basically the book version of the movie. They did it in reverse. They didn't have the book first, they had the movie first. That's a bit of a mind frack if you're not used to that, but this is basically the novelization of the movie. I never watched the movie. I wanted to watch the movie when I first saw the trailer. It definitely engrossed me. It really reminded me a lot of the other movies that Guillermo del Toro does. He has a very, very unique style. But what I wasn't prepared for was this book, really. When I think of Pan's Labyrinth, I think of the makeup. I think of Pan, I think of this fawn, I think of these really grotesque kind of characters like Guillermo del Toro is famous for. I wasn't expecting how much this is rooted in post-Civil War Spain. I didn't realize it was set in Spain to begin with, and I didn't realize it was set like kind of post-Civil War when Franco was in charge, and how Ophelia is involved in this. Ophelia is a little girl, and how her mother, who's pregnant with her stepfather's child, and he's like a Franco supporter, and he's like trying to kill all of the non-Franco supporters by flushing them out of the forests and the woods and everything and killing them. I didn't realize that was part of the story. I just thought it was like Ophelia goes into Pan's Labyrinth and Labyrinth happens, and basically David Bowie sings Magic Dance. Wrong Labyrinth, but that's basically what I had in my head. I was not prepared for this book. I was not prepared for the characters or the grotesqueness of these characters, not just like makeup wise, but you know, character wise. They are horrible people and very dark, and just I was shocked by some of the things that happened in this book. This is not a YA book, folks. This is not YA at all. This is full on, you know, adult. So it was kind of a good thing that I did not watch Pan's Labyrinth when it came out, because I was like, what? Quite young? Anyway, I was not the age to be watching it, but nevertheless, I wanted to. I really enjoyed this book. I was captivated from the very start. I just bought it up in Belfast one day when I saw it, and I started reading it in Starbucks waiting for my lift home, and I fell in love with it. I just could not put it down. I continued reading it that night, and just every single day afterwards I was very much captivated. I love the way Cornelia Funke wrote this. She is the author of one of my favorite book series of all time, the Inkworld trilogy, which starts with Inkheart. I love that series so much. So when I found out that she was partnering with Guillermo del Toro, I was like sold. I was like, I need that book in my life, and I need it now. So I got it. Yes, I did hit myself in the face. It's fine. I got it. I read it. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars, mostly because it just was not what I was expecting whenever I went into it. The way that she wrote it was amazing. Each chapter has like these illustrations at the start of them. Like most of them do, like each kind of section, not chapter. But I love the story. I love Ophelia. I really felt for Ophelia. The ending kind of destroyed me. It is just a gorgeous tale. And the third book that I read in July, and it was pretty much in the middle of it, I was like, okay, then I'll have time to read more books on the other side. No, I did not. I did not finish another book this month at all. And that was Born with Teeth by Kate Mulgrew. Yes, I read it in April, but I wanted to read it again before going to Galway International Arts Festival, because I was annotating this version and decorating it. So I decorated the end pages. I will have the vlog linked below where I did that. So I decorated it with "The work will lift you up," which was a quote by Stella Adler, which she referenced several times. And then on the back I have "You can see the moon, but the moon can't see you," which is what her mother told her. Read this again before going to the festival so that I would have it in my head, because How to Forget was fresher anyway. Annotated it. I love how it's all about life, and how she had this ambition to be an actress, and how she went about it, and how, you know, it shaped her into the person that she is. This is still definitely one of my favorite books of all time, like non-fiction, fiction. It's still one of my all-time favorite books. I will always recommend it to people. I actually got my colleague to read both of these. I still love it. So there you have it, guys. Those are all of the books that I read in July, all 3 of them. I don't know how much shorter this video is going to be, because as you can tell, I kind of rambled a little bit. What's new there? Let me know in the comments down below what books you read in July. Did you read 3 like me? Did you read more? Did you read less? Did you not read a damn thing at all? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! By the way, I got new glasses. What do you think? I like them.